yeah, today we're going to talk about the prompt evaluation pipeline and basically how to make your prompts production grade and how to make your team confident in the result that you're deploying for your customers. And before we jump into the topic itself and definition, etc., let's start from the questions. Why we actually need that at all? What problem we're trying to solve? And let's talk about the task that we had at New. And on this example, we will see why we need it and how to work with it. So it's quite straightforward generative AI stuff. We just thought that it would be nice to help our customers to get the best results and automate some routine tasks and create some functionality that will generate job description for our customers by providing some fields, as you can see here, like position name, about position, about company, some key responsibilities and skills. And in the output, we expect something like that, just a structured text, which is based on the input from the customers. And it should look good, nice, and allows customers just to click OK and post the job posting. So this is what we strive to. And, you know, it sounds obvious, right? We all used to using different chat bots and all this LLMs functionality, and we can write the prompt. So probably we will start from that. We will try several times and you know, ensure that it works well for you, works for your input parameters, and try to ship it. And just cross fingers and hope that it will work the same way, same good way for our customers as well. But this is where the problems begin, because first of all, it's edge cases. If we test it just manually several times, most likely it would not be like more than 15 different cases, let's say, test cases, different input parameters that you tested. So it's not enough to guarantee a consistent output, because models, it is not something like deterministic, like we used to with normal coding. Let's say it may provide you best results, good results in 9 from 10, but sometimes just provide you some unexpected behavior and the result that is not possible. So our task is like developers, like people who ensure that our customers get the best results. Our task to ensure that with any possible input parameters, we will deliver consistent output and the best for our customers. Another potential problem is prompt drift, because once again, it is not deterministic. We're just working with a prompt like a text. And most likely, if you're not generating the features that no one uses, just that functionality, you will need to involve it, you will need to adjust it, you will need to add something new to it, new fields maybe to improve it in some way, because you can find some issues and something like that. And yeah, all these changes may change the output for test cases that you thought that works well. And they worked well for version 1, but for version 12, for example, they will not work. And you will not even notice that without any tool that can help you with it. Another point is silent regression. It is all we know that all AI stuff, all AI functionality, all AI software changing very frequently nowadays. And this is about it. The model may change, the context about using it may change in your project. Some new edge cases, etc., and this may bring the same result. You updated prompt or something like that, but not even you may not just do anything, but the model updated, and you will not even notice that as well. And the last one, but not least, is the fear of iteration. It is stopping teams from improving and developing the prompts because they're not confident in the results. They're not able to check that, and this is a big stopper. It is probably what we used to with tests and code. It's good comparison, right? We will come back to it in the next slide, but you can think about this in that way. Without good tests, it's really scary to deploy some code, right? So this is the same stuff. And yeah, let's introduce the solution. And the solution is prompt evaluation pipelines, and or evals for short. And this is just a structured way to test, measure, and improve LLM prompts to ensure reliable and consistent output at scale. And scale is important here, because just imagine that you have one prompt. Probably it is manageable to do all the stuff manually, right? But what if you have 10, 20, 30, I don't know, 50 prompts? How to deal with it? It's just nightmare. So what this in practice bring into your software development lifecycle, how it looks like. You just test the prompt on real examples, you measure the output quality, you detect regression early, not your customers. And you can play with it. You can compare different prompt version. You can improve it. You can, go back and forth until you reach the threshold, which is good enough for you to deploy the results, and then you can do it. So once again, it's very close to the ideas that we used to for the last decades, let's say, and it is very close to the tests for the code. So evals, it's pretty the same stuff for the prompts. And your flow is like that. You change the prompt, you run the eval suite, you analyze the output, the report, and you make final decision. And moreover, you can do pretty the same stuff as you do for the test. You can put this into your CI/CD pipeline to ensure that this works well, because just a number, you can set easily some threshold and base your logic on this. So as long as we understand why it's good enough, why it's useful for your teams, for your products, let's discuss what is under the hood, what components, core components you need to create pipeline. And the first of them, and the most important, is dataset. It is curated list of input sets, your test cases, with expected output or scoring criteria. You should understand what exactly you're testing. Another point, another component is the grader or the evaluator. This is, let's say, system that provides you some score based on the input set from the data set. Next is the runner. And this is just an orchestrator that put all the pieces together and provide you report in output, let's say. And the report itself is a list of metrics for each of your input sets from the data set with some reasoning. It's kind of, you're converting the evaluation of your prompt into some number that you can somehow operate with. And let's go to each of the components a bit more deeply, and the first of them is dataset. Let's talk about what is a good dataset. This is usually underestimated step, and we all developers like to play with different funny tools and all this stuff, but data is the most important here, and this is the first main point here is the representative coverage. And this is about, just like with a test, you don't have to cover only happy passes. You have to cover all possible cases, and this will bring you more confidence. Clear ground rules, it is about that you're not just creating some test cases in your data set, you're creating test cases that you understand the output should be, the scoring should be, and you're testing some particular scenario, and you understand what you're testing. This is about it. Edge cases, and this is about, once again, we need to understand, like on that form that I showed you previously, where you put in the data for job description generator, we need to test all the possible scenarios. For example, customer provide only the information about the job title and nothing else. Our system should work well with it in this scenario. Just mixed languages, mixed fields, put all the data in one field, like about position, all this like scales requirements, which has specific fields, just put into one. Your model have to be to work well in all these scenarios, and you have to test it with your data sets. And once again, obvious stuff, more examples, better results, and this is really true. More results, more tests, more cases you cover. But yeah, we should keep the balance because, of course, it's time-consuming, and you will do probably some calls to LLMs, and this is could be your cost and something like that. So we should keep the balance here. Oops. Yeah, and let's talk about what is a grader and what types of graders are there. And there are basically three types. First of them is a code, which is obviously the fastest and the cheapest. It is when you just programmatically evaluate the output. This is something usually simple, like checking the length, checking the structure, checking the type, or is it JSON, or is it integer, or something like that. You may also check, like search for some keywords in the output. You can try to apply some mask if you're looking for some specific strings, etc., etc. Next is more interesting. It is context-aware and more flexible. It is model scoring. It is when you're asking another model to evaluate the result from your initial prompt. And here, of course, you may be more flexible and asking what to check, and especially you can check you can write the rules how to evaluate the output. You can ask for tone of voice. You can ask for completeness or something like that. Much more complex than you can do with code. And the final is final decision maker. Ground truth is a human score, a human grader, which quite obvious. You're just checking the output on your own, and of course you understand it better, right? But the important point here is that you're not only evaluating like a grader, but you adjusting the previous graders as well, your code and model graders, because model grader is just a prompt, and the task of the human grader here is to adjust this prompt to best results as well. So, and let's talk about the model grader tips and tricks, because this is the most interesting component here. And on the right side, you can hear example of the model grader prompt. As you can see, we have different sections where we describe what we need. And first of all, most important, you can describe, and you should describe the rules here. What you expect in the output, what should not be exist in the output, how it should look, the different rules that apply to your prompt. Another point is that you have explicitly described the criteria when to add and remove the points from the score. You should explain directly what is super critical for you, what is not, what is optional, what is good, nice to have, or something like that. Another point is about reasoning. You should ask for reasoning for two reasons. Because first of all, usually when you ask for reasoning, model perform better. And the second, which is really important for this human grader, the third step, and because a just score is not so much for you. If you see it like low score, what does it mean? Why it's a low score, right? You need to understand, you need to do some adjustment to your prompt, to your target prompt, or to the grader prompt. You need to understand context. And this is where it lives. So next point is about the temperature. For this model grader prompt, it's nice to use something close to 0, because you remove all the creativity from the model, and you ask to go strictly to the rules that you provided in the grader prompt. And of course, you may play with different nuances, tones of voice, mood, emotional stuff. If you need it, you can put it here and ask model to evaluate this. Let's move further, and the next component is runner. to be honest, I don't know. Probably you can find some tools that will do it for you, like ready tools to use. But to be honest, it's quite simple to make on your own, in your project, in your language. It's just a code which load data set, execute prompt, runs the grader, and loop through all your list of input sets from your data set. After that, generates a report. So this is an example of the report. And as you can see, we have here input parameters. It is what was provided by the customer. In the bottom, we see the result. It is output from the target prompt. And then we see the grade. And this is output from your model grader. And this, of course, in the very bottom, we see the score. And this is a very useful format when you put all like input parameters, results, and grade, because it allows you to easily analyze all this, output parameters, how it works under the hood. And of course, the score, usually you will have some kind of average score for all the data set runs. And this is score that you can work with in your CI/CD pipeline, just look on it, something like that. And that's it. Let's just summarize what we all now learned. And we understand that vibes don't scale, evals do, because this is what allows you to deal with a huge amount of prompts in the production grade and provide the consistent and solid results and output. Prompt without an eval is a feature without a test. Yes, it's a very close similarity, and we already used to this, how it works, what is test, why it's important, and what the drawbacks as well. So we clearly understand how to apply it here. We just need to do it. Bad data set plus great evaluator false confidence. And once again, data is more important than orchestrator or something like that. The evals you skip is the regression you ship. This is about the confidence, right? We like developers have to produce best results, and we need tools or practices to make this happen, to have confidence in what we're doing and what we're shipping. And evals, once again, it's not a tool you adopt. There are like habits you build. It is kind of culture in your team. It is kind of some processes in your software development lifecycle. That's it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. Thank you.